Hi, welcome back. Right, I'm back on the van today. I've had a couple of weeks off, been away, busy, you know it is. Anywho, Wolfbox have kindly sent me the G900 Tri Pro camera. Now this is a nice bit of kit that I can't open with one hand, but it's getting there. Come on, hang on a sec. Right, so straight out the box, what we got? Basically showing you what is inside. We've got a nice beastie camera or screen, which is really well made by the looks of it. We've got a brackety type thing. What we've got in here? Oh, we've got manual, bumper camera, power supply and charger. It looks like it's a cigarette lighter type thing. We've got a GPS and the rear camera. So I'm going to try and get the wiring in now because my van is, well, as you can see, there's not a great deal happening in here at the minute. So while I've got access, I might as well run the wire in because it'll have to go all the way down there, down that pillar, and then across there as well to mount the camera on the screen. So I'll get all these bits and bobs out the boxes, and then we'll see where we are running it in. So I've managed to get a cable rod there, shoved up there. This is why you do it when there's nothing in the van and it's poking out up here, look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this one in here to there. I'm going to pull it all the way down that pillar, and it's down there ready to go out through the grommet and into that rear door for the rear camera. So I'll do that. It's a bit faffy to film, but I'll try. Right, you little bugger. Let's see if we can get this out of here. This is going easier than I thought. My God, that was easy. That was extremely easy, too easy for me, that. So that cable is here, all the way down there, and it's here, it's hanging out there. So obviously I need to sort this cap out. I've just pulled it back so I can get access, but that's the rear one in. Goes all the way down here with all this mess. Down here. Needs sorted out here and put in conduit, and then it's going to go down here. It'll run under there and across the roof, and it'll pop out just under the windscreen there. So I've just got the front one to do, and then we need some kind of power supply. I'm hoping to possibly use on these new crafters. I don't know if you can see up there, just where my finger is, just there. They actually come the USB-C up there for dash cams and the like, which is quite handy. So I'm hoping, and I've got a hard wiring kit as well that they've sent me, so I'm hoping I can possibly use that and just use that up there rather than try and get a supply from the fuse. But I mean, it's not an issue, it's just a case of I'd have to take that pillar off, but I'm going to have to take that off anyway to get down and through the bulkhead in the front to use the that route for the front bumper cable. So we'll see anyway. I'll sort this cable out anyway, and then we'll jump back. Right, so I'm back in the front cab now. So what you need to do is you need to take the cover off there, which is a right pig to do. Just be very careful you don't snap it. And then you need to get your T25, take that out, take that out. That allows you to remove this pillar to get all your cables down. So I'll take that off, and I'll jump back in once I've got the cables down, and I'll show you where I'm going to route them through under the bonnet. Right, current state of affairs. Absolute complete faff that was. This trim is an absolute nightmare. I kind of remember it from the other crafter as well, but like I said earlier, you've got to take the handle off and then prise it out and try not to lose the clips that are on the back. But as you can see, I've got a cable hanging out there. I've got a GPS cable here which needs to fix to the window, but it does say on a flat surface, but we'll see. They need to go across there, the other one's somewhere behind my head, and that needs to go across as well. And down here I've got the cable coiled up on the floor, so that one goes through the bulkhead onto the camera that's going to be on the front. So I think the faffiness is over, so it's just a case now of tidying up in here and then getting it through the bulkhead. So I'll get this cable through that's behind me, and then we'll go from there. Right, so we're kind of back together in the cab now. So like I said earlier, I've got that black cable to go through the bulkhead. Now if you watched my last video, you'll see me doing the aux beam and basically going through the same grommet, which is under the bonnet, which is footwell, passenger side footwell, and it's up, no, it's hard to see because it's dark, but it's up there. So I'll push a rod through and we'll pull the cable through. Right, so back under the bonnet, that's the grommet down there. There's my rod, pushed it through, so that's now sitting underneath the glove box in the passenger footwell. So what I'll do is I'll tie the cable on that side, and then I'll pull it through, and then we can kind of get it to the length where we need it for the camera. So I'm not quite sure where to mount it yet. I was thinking about here, but I've got a bit of stuff going on there, so it's probably going to have to be there. There isn't really anywhere else. So, right, we'll do that. There she is, look. Hope she's low enough. Oh, it's gone a bit tight. So there's the cable. And it's just, oh, here she comes. So hopefully there's enough length, which there isn't, to get through. So might be a little bit under here still, actually. Oh, there is a little bit under there. Yeah, it's just catching. Oh, that's better. So now we've got enough. There it is on the end of my little rod, look. So hopefully we've got enough to get down there, to mount it down there. So, right, I'll tidy that up under the bonnet, and then we'll get the cameras mounted. Right, much of your faffio later. The cable's through there, as you're just saying. Goes down there, needs tidied up. It's behind there, and it's just hanging loose at the front there. So I've got to do something similar at the back. Now the back, I can't decide where to mount it, if I'm honest. I mean, on my last van, I had it up there, which was ideal. I can't decide whether I might put it on there, but I don't know. Let me just have a look in here. So if you look in here, I can't open this bloody door because that Audi's in the way, but see, you've got your grommet there. That's my access into my rear door, but I'll worry about that nearer the time. We'll get the rest of it hooked up first, and then we'll see where we are. Now what I've also done is, before I put all this back and hide it and tie it up, I don't know if you can see that, but I've slid a bit of heat shrink just over where it plugs together, just for a bit of extra peace of mind. I've got my big lighter here that won't light because it's locked. Oh, for God's sake. And there I've just put a bit of heat shrink over that just to give it a bit of extra protection against the weather. So hopefully I'm going to mount that camera in there like so. but I'll get the other bits and bobs done first, and I'll do that last because runs like a tip. Jesus. Right, managed to hide all the wires up there. So we've got the 4 wires hanging down there. We've got the power and the cameras. So I've just popped that off there to see if I can make it any neater, but I'll see when I get to that bit. So I think for now I'm going to mount the front camera, and then we're going to lift up the mat. I'll lift this mat up here and take this down here. I am going to extend these once my leisure battery's in and take them into the leisure battery so it'll run permanently on that. Otherwise it'll drain the main battery when it's on shock sensor, etc. So right, next. So you've got a few ways to mount your camera. There's various brackets, but you also get various 3M pads of various shapes, styles, little weeny screws in there. There's all kinds in there, so you've got plenty to choose from, but all depends how you mount it on yours. I'm going to mount it to the bumper with a 3M tape pad, and hopefully it stays there. So I've just cleaned this with a bit of alcohol to make sure there's no crap on there. And it dries dead quick, so what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to peel that off and stick it on there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to tidy up the wiring. Right, so I'm just on with the rear one now. So what you need to do is take that off there, get your cable to here, and then feed it through there, so that gets you into your door, and then we'll think about mounting the camera. So I'll get this through here. so in part of this kit you get this here, which goes on the back like that, and then that would screw onto there, so that's so you can mount it onto your windscreen. But at the minute it comes out the box with like these 4 tabs in. So these are for if you've got like you've already got an interior mirror. You get rubber band strap things that go around to hold that onto your mirror. So all you do is, you can see these, like there's one there, look, you can see that in there like that. So there's one in there with a little cover on, so you pop the cover off, undo the screw, pull that out, and then that will sit on there with your 4 screws, and then obviously 4 more screws for that. So I'll whip them out, and then we'll try and get it mounted. That's that fixed on there, that's the mount fixed on there, and then that should sit on there like that. So you also get, if I can find that here, you also get that. So that's to glue onto the window. Now, a certain person who you might know, he had a bit of issue with his as well, so he's kind of ironed out the errors. So I'm just going straight to Sikaflex like what he's used, and hopefully that'll hold it. So I'll get it stuck on. Might have to leave it overnight, but I'll get it on, and then we'll see where we are. Right, here we go. So I've put a little bit of Unibond on there in clear in case it oozes out, and I'm just going to go like that. I have measured this, I do know roughly where it's going. About there. That looks straight. So, oh God, it doesn't look straight. There we are. Stay straight, please. So, I can't really touch that now, so I'll just leave that for now, and I'll come back to that tomorrow. So front camera's mounted, rear camera's all the way through. It's in the actual door ready. I still can't decide whether to put it high up or on the registration light housing. So I'll have a little think. It just means drilling a hole in the van, you say, whereas if I put it in the registration, It's just a hole in the housing. I'll let this go for the night, and then I'll have a think and I'll decide tomorrow. So I'll see you in the morning. Right, it's a few days later now. I've actually got the camera screen mounted on the windscreen. The little bracket did fall off a couple of times, as expected, so I put a bit of bond on the plate and used window bond, and it's solid. Left it overnight and hasn't moved. So I have been down the road in it, had a little test run, and it's still there, so bonus. So I've decided to put the camera, the rear camera, on the back door, but high level, up here, but on the other side obviously. So the wiring's all in, it just needs a hole through and drilled, but the camera, the cable entry is at the top of the camera, because I'm going to have it aiming down, so the entry's in the top of the camera. So Dave's going to make me, he's going to 3D print me a little bracket that I can use to kind of just protect the wire, and then that should be it done. But the rest of it's all up and running, working, works a treat. So I'll have a little run out in the dark, show what it's like at night, and then once the 3D bracket's here, we'll get that on and we'll show you. It might not be in this video, but eventually it'll be on. Right, so everything's up and running. As you can see, the screen there, so it's also voice activated. So if I talk to the screen, turn off screen, turn on screen, show rear camera, show front camera, please, show front camera, thank you. So you've also got all your settings are in here. There's various things in here. G-sensor, loop recording. I've got it on 3 minutes. G-sensor's set for medium. You've got fatigue reminder, we don't want that. We've got Wi-Fi, volume, click tones, screensaver. You can put it on for 10 seconds, see what that's like. You've got your screen. Oops, pressed it accidentally. And you can flip the cameras around that way or the other way up. You've got parking mode, GPS, voice control, GPS, date stamp. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But obviously with the Wi-Fi, you can connect it to your phone, so you can, if there's anything you need to save, you can download it to your phone and keep it. Somebody hits your van or whatever, you've got evidence then. But yeah, cracking piece of kit. Now then, Wolfbox have just sent me this interior dash cam, if that's what you call it. So I've just unplugged the front bumper cam, and you can see on the screen there, there's me, look, here. So that aims at you when you're driving, so if there's any misfortunes go on in the cab or something like that, or I suppose it monitors it when it's when the van's locked and left alone, it keeps an eye on inside the cab as well, so good bit of kit. So this is the Wolfbox camera. This is facing the front, this is in the dark, and the picture is really clear. It's supposed to be 4K. But if I swipe to the right, you can see the bumper cam in the middle there as well. The rear one, as we stand now, is not, well, it is actually on, but it's just sitting in the back in the dark. So I'm getting a 3D mounted bracket printed off my friend, so once that's on, I'll show you what that looks like as well. But so far so good, so we'll just have that view for now.